she doesn't make the necessary interventions. And that brings me to the question of the public-private partnership. President William Ruto, since ascending to the high office 9 months ago, has traveled the width and breadth of the world, seeking partnerships, looking for investors to come and bring money in this country, partner with the government to build dams, water ponds, sink boreholes, and assist us to deal with the effects of climate change. But our detractors, the ones we defeated at the ballot, have connived with the press, especially the nation newspapers, to belittle the efforts of the president, because the nation newspapers and the other press were part and parcel of the Azimio Brigade. And they are still living in denial. They are the heck and beck of the opposition to try to belittle the government and to try to bring the government of William Ruto down by creating a false narrative. Yesterday, they carried a headline that President William Ruto, for the 9 months he has been in office, he has used 3 times what his predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta, used during the same period. And that is very true. In fact, 3 times is not enough. That is true. What they did not tell the country, and they can't do so because they are subjective, and they are part of the scheme to belittle President William Ruto and the government. What they should have done is do an analysis of what President Uhuru Kenyatta did in those 9 months. How many countries did he travel to? How many local travels did he do? If they were honest to do analysis, they will find that within the 9 months, President William Ruto has done 8 times what President Uhuru Kenyatta did, and hence the escalation of the budget. But that one they cannot do. The other day, they wrote another screaming headline that President William Ruto is micromanaging his government, and were complaining that he is hands-on. I've never heard anywhere in the world where anybody would have a problem with a hands-on CEO of any institution. All institutions that are known to be successful, all organizations that are known to have made a difference, they are those organizations that are led by a CEO who has a hands-on style of management. But our press have a problem with that. They are still in denial. We ask you to move from the denial stage to the one of acceptance. William Ruto is the President of the Republic of Kenya. He defeated you and your project, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can just wait for your time and make another bid. And these people, I must say, are shameless. They try every day to create a wedge in our government that does not exist. The other day, they wrote a headline in the Taifa Leo, Ruto amkata Gachagua kucha. Now, when you look at that headline, it has no basis. It's totally obsolete and misplaced. They were trying to create an impression that the president and I have a problem. I want to tell you, the media, you are going to wait for a long time, and you'll be disappointed. There will be no cracks in this government. This is a very solid government with leaders who have been brought together by a plan. Leaders who have been brought together by some commitment to work for the people of Kenya. The president and I and the rest of us, all our ministers, are all pulling in the same direction. We all see things the same way. So don't try to create problems where there are none. After they failed in that one, they wrote another 1 page. The Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, and the Deputy President are having a tussle. Again, pure nonsense. Something that is baseless. Just trying to poke holes in our administration, because they have found that we have found a formula to turn around the economy of this country. I want to assure you, the nation newspapers, I don't want, whereas I agree with Moses Kuria, that you have become rogue and you are part of the Azimio brigade of trying to bring down the government. I don't agree with what he has suggested, that we stop advertising with you. We shouldn't, because we are democracy and we should be able to allow you to continue doing your job. Ours is to call you out. When you go overboard, we must tell you on the face. That is a strategy. But we also advise you, instead of hiding, why don't you convert yourself into a political party and then join the Azimio coalition? And then you can face us in politics, which is not your line. I want to conclude by saying, no amount of negative publicity, no amount of demonstrations, no amount of wearing sufurias on the head will distract President William Ruto from service delivery. The president has a mandate from the people of Kenya to turn around their lives. The president has a social contract of 5 years to improve the economy of this country, restore the dignity of the Kenyan people, put money into people's pockets, and uplift their standards of living. That is a commitment that he took the Bible at Kasarani on 13th of September and swore before God and before man to do so. You can continue shouting from the rooftop. You can continue writing screaming headlines. You can continue creating false narratives. And I must tell you, because it's important that I do, so that you don't confuse the people of Kenya. When we came into government, there was no sufficient foreign exchange to buy fuel, where we require about $500 million every month. And as a result, the Kenya shilling became very weak, and the dollar was going to 140, 141, 145, headed to 150 shillings per dollar. Had President William Ruto and his government not intervened through a government-to-government arrangement where we get fuel on a 6-month credit period to cushion the shilling from further sliding down, reduce the need for the shilling, therefore to stabilize the shilling, the dollar today would be at 200 shillings. But that single intervention by government has stabilized the dollar at about 135 shillings. And things are even getting better. And as we proceed with the interventions that are being made, and we thank God for the good rains, we expect a bumper harvest, we expect surplus food, we expect the dollar will go downwards. But you are carrying a headline to say that that is a scandal. Stopping the sliding of the shilling against the dollar to levels that are unprecedented in this country, you find that as scandalous. Because this press would have wished, together with Azimio, the dollar to go to 200 shillings so that you can criticize the president and the government. You will not be allowed. And we'll call you out every day. Any story you write that is false, we'll give you facts the same day, the ones I'm giving you today. Niendelee nisiendelee? Wacha nimalizie hapo kwa sababu sitaki kuharibu hii mkutano mzuri. Otherwise, I want to say thank you very much. Good people. I've seen there is a deputy president.